Yes, my name is Nicole Porter. My current role in this community, I am the principal for Access to Sport, which is a nonprofit organization that connects children to nonprofit organizations through grants. I've known Stack for almost 10 years now. I met Stack through a mutual friend within the athletics realm here within Hartford, Connecticut, which is not very large. It is a small community. Everyone knows everyone for the most part. But what has drawn me to Stack is his work ethic, the fact that he really works hard for what he calls his babies, the children in this community, and he really pushes them to be their best selves no matter what. Yes, so prior to Supreme Athlete, mind you, we have a lot of great organizations here in Hartford, Connecticut. However, they're sport specific. So you may have an organization that's focused on basketball or football or track. What Supreme Athlete does is combine all sports disciplines, figure out what that sweet spot is for children in order to help them excel in that particular sport. So it doesn't matter if you're a tennis player, it doesn't matter if you're a track athlete, it doesn't matter if you play basketball. The whole purpose of Supreme Athlete is to really to mentor the youth. It starts with them and also looking at the sports that they play and helping them to really excel in their chosen discipline. Hartford is small but mighty. Unfortunately, with a lot of urban districts and urban communities, we are faced with a lot of crime. We are faced with sometimes homelessness. We are faced with single-parent homes. We are faced with issues that normally not a lot of communities outside of urban districts or that are primarily black and brown have to deal with, especially those who have been historically underserved. There are a lot that our children go through in these types of communities. And the fact that they can reach out to an organization like Supreme Athlete, reach out to a mentor like Stack and the folks within his organization to help them get on the right track, to help them really stay focused not only in school but also in that sport that they are interested in is essential. Hartford as a community is still a great community. In order for our children to learn and thrive, thanks to organizations like Supreme Athlete, that really helps children find a place where they can be safe, a place where they can excel, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in life as well. I would say what is unique about, Supreme Athlete is the way that they do it. With other organizations, if you're worth anything in salt, you know that in order for your children to play, it's a non-starter if they're not doing anything within the classroom. However, some children need a little bit more motivation, right? And some have a really hard time connecting with that, caring adult to help them, bring them over that threshold, for them to understand why school is important. Unfortunately, for a lot of children within our community, they see maybe I can go to the NFL, or they see, maybe I can go to the NBA, but they're not understanding that you need to go to college first, right? In order to do that, you need to make sure you're doing what you need to do in the classroom, not senior year, not junior year, not sophomore year, but it starts as early as 8th grade or even 1st grade. You have to excel in school, and that's the requirements that Supreme Athletes has. So they make sure that our children have what's needed from a credentialing standpoint in their academia realm to make sure that they can compete on that field, on that track, or wherever they choose to compete. They have a way of speaking to the kids as if they're speaking to a friend, but they respect that person because they know they're talking to a grown-up. They know they're talking to an adult. But what's so unique about Supreme Athlete, and especially Stack, is that he's been what these kids have been. He's been in the streets. He's been going from home to home. He understands what some of these kids are going through, but he can also connect with children who haven't been through those types of experiences as well. So I think that's the beauty about Stack, and he brings himself to that organization in order to make it thrive the way it has been. Academia and athletics, I believe, go hand in hand. Unfortunately, especially in children who are in underserved communities, children who have been historically underserved do not get the opportunity to play sports as much as their white counterparts or counterparts in other communities. It's unfortunate. I think that every child deserves the right to play from the time that they can hold the ball in their hand. We've seen disparities across the board when we know that a child cannot play versus when a child can play. And it's mostly sometimes, unfortunately, due to funding, which is why it's important that we have grant opportunities. It's important that we go to our school board and demand that we have the appropriate budget in order to support sports. It helps our children focus on the field, and it also helps our children focus in the classroom as well, and helps them develop skills that are needed for life. I think the city of Hartford and the community of Hartford is sleeping on Supreme. I think they're sleeping on a lot of great organizations that are doing some ground level, grassroots work and to connect with our kids. I think there's opportunity for collaboration. I think there are opportunities for connecting, and I really hope that, moving forward, we're definitely making strides to making that happen.